not let me go.
For my first meal of the day, I'm gonna be having my loaded bowl of oatmeal. I personally like to have a lot of carbs before I work out. It gives me the most energy. This is a food scale that I use. It's really old, but it still works. I got it on Amazon. I think it's about $10. A really helpful tip that I learned kind of the hard way in the beginning is that if you don't want to manually track all of your food every single time that you make something, you usually eat the same thing every morning. I save the nutrition facts on them so I automatically know what I'm consuming because this meal will not change 6 days out of the week. For me, I'm doing a half cup of oats. You could do this an easier way, but it doesn't fit inside of here. So I do a half cup of dry oats and then I fill it up with about a half cup of water. Give that a little stir and then I just pop it in the microwave for 1 minute. If you don't want to do everything manually, you can also use MyFitnessPal. I used to use it in the past, but now I feel like I have a pretty good understanding on how to track my macros. So if you're a beginner, I'll definitely recommend MyFitnessPal. Then I add a full banana inside of my oatmeal. And then the way I'm gonna measure my peanut butter is by taking the scale. I'm gonna put my oatmeal that's already full on top of it, and then I'm gonna zero it out. So right now it says 0, but on my peanut butter, this is going to be measured in grams. 1 serving is 32 grams of peanut butter. I'm gonna change the unit. Now the unit says grams, so now I can add peanut butter until the scale says 32 grams, and that is gonna be what I manually input for my peanut butter underneath the breakfast category for my oatmeal. And just a little tiny bit of maple syrup. It's currently 9:50. Now I'm gonna eat this bowl of oatmeal. This is my breakfast and I usually go to the gym around 11 o'clock. I have some work to do. So I'm gonna eat this while I finish that work, a little multitasking action. And then I will show you guys my pre-workout and then I'll see you for lunch. Don't look at me. Now I'm on my way to the gym and my car is charging. So I'm gonna make my pre-workout. I use this brand called Powders and it's my actual favorite thing ever. This flavor is the pink lemonade. And what I love about Powders is that it's just completely natural. There's no sucralose, there's no artificial ingredients or flavors or coloring that are gonna mess with your stomach or your gut health. And it just tastes more natural. I hate when things taste fake and they taste syrupy and stuff. Powders is definitely not like that, so that's why I'm such a big fan. I just take 1 scoop. I don't even remember. 1 scoop is 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is perfect for me. I don't even know if there are nutrition facts and calories and stuff to pre-workout, but I don't track my pre-workout because it's literally just caffeine. I commute about 30 minutes to my gym, so I'll sip on that when I get about 15 minutes away. That way it's really hitting my system and giving me the itch factor when I start to lift. So now I'm going to share with you guys how I determine my macros for my specific body composition. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the actual numbers that I'm using, but please note that these numbers are what's working for me. They're not necessarily going to help you because your body is completely different than mine. If you're interested in tracking, then I would recommend using the Good Fitness app. It's really simple. You just input all of the information about you specifically, what your gender is, what your height, your weight, how active you are, and then what your goals are. So for me specifically right now, my goal is to cut and be in a calorie deficit, which means I want to lose weight. So I'll click that toggle and then it's going to generate the macros that I'm going to be needing to consume every single day. So it says 2015 calories, 155 grams of protein, 223 grams of carbs, and 56 grams of fat. That's what I'm going to be eating the entire day. So throughout my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, that should be my total of what I'm trying to get really close to by the end of every day. And now to break it down into my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, I take that total number, very simple, and I divide it by 4. So for my calories, I divide 2015 by 4. That equals about 503 calories. That's what I'm going to consume for every single meal. So I will divide the protein, carbs, fat, and calories by 4, and that will give me a rough estimate of what I should be consuming for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and my snacks throughout the day. Another tip is using MyFitnessPal. I used to use it in the past, but you do have to pay for the premium version of it. So my goal for these macros are to stick to them as best as I can for 2 weeks. Then I will decrease my macros just a little bit to be in even more of a calorie deficit. And then I'll go for another week and see if my body goes through any changes. If I feel like this number of food is like way too little, like I feel like I'm starving and I just physically cannot consume that little of amount of food, you can definitely increase your macros a little bit, find your maintenance, stick to that for 2 weeks, and then gradually decrease your macros into more and more of a deficit as you go by the weeks. This shouldn't be like a shock factor. Tracking your macros and going into a deficit or even going into a surplus has to be gradual. Otherwise, your body's going to go into shock and your metabolism is not going to understand what to do, and that will throw off your body even more.
They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend.
Say hi! Oh, hello! What are we doing? We're doing a what I eat today, because I'm now tracking.
Hell yeah, I'm doing a cut. So this is my black market meal prep, baby.
I'm right there with you.
Cut.
Are you?
It took like a month break, but we're back.
I just started today.
Look at us. Look at us. Oh, so laughing.
It sounded like there was someone talking about them. Blah. We're not going to address the fact that I haven't showered yet from the gym, but it's 6:50 and JP and I are going to make dinner. I think we're going to do like a Spanish chicken with broccoli, and if we have potatoes, then I think we're going to air fry the potatoes. JP, entertain them while I grab our ingredients.
How about no?
Come on.
That's alright.
Come on.
I'm gonna make my athletic.
Come on. JP loves the aesthetic greens.
Leave me alone.
You're not. It's not on.
Yeah, it is.
Every time I close my eyes. Time I close my